The evolution of high-speed internet technologies, the potential impact of 5G across multiple application domains, increased consumption of video for work from home, learn from home, and entertainment, and the growing proliferation of smartphones is driving exponential growth in bandwidth on today's telecom networks. Wider adoption of multi-gigabit broadband connections by homes and businesses, wider usage of cloud-based services and 5G by enterprises, and massive build-outs of web-scale data centers are further accelerating this demand. Tejas Networks, a Tata Group company focused on building cutting-edge telecom and networking products, is enabling this data revolution. We design and manufacture high-performance wireline and wireless products for telecommunications service providers, internet service providers, utilities, defense, and government entities the world over. Our products are used by several marquee names in the global telecommunications industry for realizing flexible, high-speed broadband networks, high-capacity optical backbone networks, future-proof mobile backhaul networks, next-generation utility networks, and various applications that use secured Ethernet switches. Tejas products have been successfully used in several important national and global projects by multiple Tier 1 operators. We have successfully completed the trials of our 4G LTE radio access network products for a large operator in India. We strongly believe in continually investing in R&D. More than half of our workforce is comprised of R&D engineers working on the latest technologies to build globally competitive products. We own a large and growing pool of intellectual property and patents in optical and wireless technologies. With increased differentiation of telecom networks coming from use of innovative software, we are well positioned with our unique programmable software-defined hardware architecture. This enables flexible products that can be field upgraded to meet new standards and customer requirements while giving a significant time to market advantage. Our acquisition of Sankhya Labs expands our wireless offering to 5G Open RAN, 5G broadcast and satellite applications, recipient of many prestigious national and global industry awards. We have been recognized for our product innovation and business excellence. With a vision to become a top global telecom and networking products OEM, Tejas Networks is charting new frontiers by helping build next-generation networks and powering a connected world.
afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome the members to the 22nd Annual General Meeting. Hope all of you are safe and in good health. This meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the circular issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. I'm told by the Company Secretary that the requisite quorum is present, and I call this meeting to order. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, let me introduce myself and my colleagues on the video conference. My name is N. Ganapati Subramanyam. I am joining this meeting from our offices in Bangalore, and I have Sanjay Nayak, CEO and Managing Director of the company, and N.R. Ravikrishnan, Company Secretary of the company, along with me. I'm able to hear and see all of you clearly, and I've got all the proceedings on papers, etc. with us. There is no one else present with us at this moment. Let me introduce the other directors. May I ask A.S. Lakshmi Narayan, non-executive, non-independent director, to introduce himself, please. Lakshmi, you may have to unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, all. I am A.S. Lakshmi Narayan. I am joining this meeting from my office in Mumbai, and very pleased to be here and look forward to interacting with all of you. Thank you.
Ambassador Leela Ponnappa.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leela Krishnamurthy Ponnappa, joining this meeting from my residence at Greater Noida near Delhi. There is nobody else present in the room, and I'm glad to be able to participate with all my other colleagues on the board.
Thank you. Mr. P.R. Ramesh.
Good afternoon. I am P.R. Ramesh, Independent Director Additional, participating in this first AGM of mine from Secunderabad. I can see and hear everyone. I'm a member of the Audit Committee and Chairman of the Risk Committee of the company. Thank you.
Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy.
Good afternoon. I am Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy from IIT Madras. I just recently joined the board of Tejas Networks. I'm happy to participate in this first AGM for me from Chennai, where I'm currently on the IIT Madras campus. So I look forward to this learning from all of you at this first AGM of Tejas Networks, which I'm attending. Thank you.
Sanjay Nayak.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sanjay Nayak, CEO and Managing Director of the company. I'm joining from our offices in Bangalore, and I'm again happy to be proud of our 22nd annual general body meeting. Thank you.
Arnab Roy.
Hello, this is Arnab Roy, COO of the company, and I'm joining the AGM from our offices in Bangalore.
Mr. Venkatesh Gadiyar.
Yeah, I'm Venkatesh Gadiyar, CFO, joining from the Bangalore office.
Mr. Ravi Krishnan.
I'm Ravi Krishnan, Company Secretary, joining from Bangalore.
I confirm that the chairperson of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, is present for the meeting through video conference. The chairman of the Audit Committee, Mr. Chandrasekhar Bhaskar Bhave, could not be present due to unavoidable reasons. Ambassador Leela Ponnappa, a member of the Audit Committee, is present for the meeting through video conference. I confirm that the statutory auditors, Mr. Arun from Messrs. Pricewaterhouse Chartered Accountants LLP, internal auditor, Mr. Hemant from Singhvi Dev and Munni LLP, secretarial auditor, C. Dwarakanath, practicing company secretary, cost auditor, Krishnamurthy, GNV and Associates, are all present for the meeting through video conference. I now request N.R. Ravikrishnan, Company Secretary, to provide general instructions to the members regarding participation in this meeting.
Good evening, everyone. Members may note that this annual general meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through video conference or other audiovisual means is made available for the members. The company has also provided webcast facility to view the live proceedings of this annual general meeting on the company's website. The Register of Directors and key managerial personnel, the Register of Contracts or Arrangements has been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM. Members seeking to inspect such documents can send the request to agm@tejasnetworks.com. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not applicable, and hence a proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from few members to register themselves as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for these members to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate this session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions on the availability of time at the AGM. The company has provided the facility to cast the votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who are not cast the votes electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast the votes during the meeting through the e-voting system provided by the NSDL. Members can click on the vote tab on the video conference screen to avail this feature. Members are requested to refer to the instructions provided in the notice or appearing on the video conference page for a seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers. Members may also kindly note that the AGM is being recorded. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ravi. The company has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable members to participate through video conference and vote at the AGM. I thank all the members, colleagues on the board, auditors, and the management team for joining this meeting over video conference. So let me address the shareholders covering the performance highlights and the market outlook for our business. Good afternoon, shareholders. It's an absolute privilege to be your chairperson for the annual general meeting today. And I take pleasure in welcoming you all to your company's 22nd annual general meeting. On behalf of the Board of Directors and everyone at Tejas Networks Limited, I would like to thank you all for the trust and confidence that you have placed and look forward to your continued support to the Board of Directors and the management at large. The annual report for the year ended 31st March 2022, along with the Directors' report and audited annual accounts of the company, have been shared with you, and may I request that these be taken as read. I would now like to outline the salient aspects of your company's financial and operational performance for the fiscal year 2021-22, followed by an overview of the business environment. Performance highlights. The pandemic pushed consumers, businesses, and governments to accelerate their adoption of broadband and digital technologies. Notwithstanding the short-term supply chain challenges and COVID-19 related uncertainties that we faced throughout the year, your company continued to stay resilient thanks to the strong commitment and support from our members, employees, customers, and communities. Financial year 2022 was a year of renewed commitment towards our aspiration to become a trusted telecom products company. During the year, while we witnessed a strong demand for our products and solutions in the form of new order wins, our revenue growth was relatively modest due to global chip shortages that impacted our manufacturing operations and our ability to deliver to our commitments. The shortfall in our revenues, in turn, adversely impacted our profitability. Summary of our FY 21-22 financial performance is as follows. Net revenues were at 551 crore, year-on-year growth of 6.9%. Profit after tax was a loss of 63 crores. Net working capital increased to 492 crores, primarily due to increased inventory. Our order book at the end of the year was 1,175 crores, out of which around 70% is expected to be realized as revenues in financial year 23. The cash position of the company remains strong at 1,102 crores cash and cash equivalents with no debt. During the year, we enhanced and redesigned our 4G LTE radio access network, RAN, base station product to meet the technical requirements of a large pan-India mobile operator in India. We successfully completed the proof of concept and are in discussions to commercially deploy our equipments at scale. Our 4G LTE base station has been designed to be upgradable for 5G, for which work is in progress. All our product lines, namely wireline, wireless, and transport, continue to be enhanced in line with market needs. As of 31st March 2022, we have 350 patent applications, 137 global patent grants, and a rich portfolio of 300 plus semiconductor IPs. This strategy is further strengthened by the acquisition of Sankhya Labs Private Limited, which enables your company to be a strong player in the broadcast domain and become an active player for wireless, broadband, and broadcast segments as the industry enters the convergence era. Your company is the largest Indian optical networking products company with deployments across 75 countries. Your company has deep expertise in the networking domain, and our people are respected for their skills, professionalism, and competence. Our unique programmable software-defined hardware architecture enables flexible products that can be field upgraded to meet new standards and customer requirements while giving a time-to-market advantage. Our people and community. We are very happy to report that during the year, our employees seamlessly transitioned to a hybrid working model without sacrificing on productivity. We also provided all possible support to our employees and their families in fighting the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in India. Our efforts ranged from sponsoring organizations who are distributing oxygen concentrators, providing funding support to build COVID care centers and local hospitals, and arranging vaccination camps for our employees and their families at all our offices around the country. Amidst all of this, in FY22, our TJ1600 multi-terabit packet optical transmission product family won the Voice and Data Excellence Award for Innovation. The company was also a finalist for 2021 Asia Communication Award in the Innovation category. It's a matter of pride that Tejas won the prestigious CEO of the Year and CTO of the Year awards from ET Telecom. Telecom networks are now an essential infrastructure for digital society and economy. Growth of high-speed broadband, 5G, softwareization of telecom networks, and the emerging geopolitical situation are the key macro trends driving our business. Globally, over the last few years, especially with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, always-on broadband connectivity to homes and businesses has emerged as an essential service like electricity, gas, and water. This opportunity, coupled with current policies of the Government of India, provides the right environment for design and development of indigenous technology and use of domestically manufactured telecom products like ours. In FY22, I'm happy to inform you that your company was declared eligible under the PLI scheme as well as the Trusted Sources mandate, which would help in growing our domestic market share in both public and private sector opportunities. We are also pleased that your company is now part of the Tata Group. The Tata Group has always supported initiatives which are considered important and necessary for our country. In line with this philosophy, the group has recognized the need for having an indigenous telecom stack and is working towards orchestrating a modern solution for the telecom industry at large. In doing so, the objective is to build a world-class telecom OEM, capitalizing on the end-to-end group capabilities in software and system integration, design and manufacturing of electronic subsystems and telecom equipments, in which your company will serve as the centerpiece. In conclusion, your company is poised to be a scale player of global reach with a competitive portfolio of products supported by best-in-class R&D and innovation. We will grow offering modern, efficient, and innovative telecom network equipments. This would entail us building a strong manufacturing system in India an agile back office and support operations backed by world-class teams and processes. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank all our board members for providing their valuable guidance and support to your company. In particular, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation for the past chairman, Sri V. Balakrishnan, and Dr. Gururaj Deshpande, under whose able leadership the company has been able to achieve all the success over the years and build a strong platform for the future. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Tejas Networks, we thank the respective governments, nodal agencies of India, the Government of Karnataka, and all other government agencies, governments of various countries where we have business operations. And we look forward to their continued support. We are grateful to our customers, employees, shareholders, suppliers, and bankers, all of whom have supported us during these challenging times. I wish you all good health and happiness. Thank you. May I now request our CEO and Managing Director, Sanjay Nayak, to make a brief presentation, please.
Thank you, NJS. And again, good afternoon, all the shareholders and all the board members who have attended the AGM today. Sneha, are you putting the presentation? Okay. So first of all, a lot of the things that I was going to be saying have been articulated by our chairman. And to begin with, as just to recap the last year, it was a milestone year for us as a company. Being a part of the Tata Group is a matter of pride for us. It gives us a very strong foundation, the brand strength, and the balance sheet today to really realize our aspirations with which we had started this company 22 years back. While last year, as our chairman had articulated, was a bit of a challenge because of supply chain constraints, the business momentum was very good, which was reflected in the form of new order wins, as well as the backlog that we ended the year, which was an all-time high of 1,175 crores. In addition, we have made a lot of investments in terms of new product developments, of which I'll talk in a few minutes, as well as expanding our product portfolio across multiple segments, spanning from wireline, which is where we were traditionally strong, to wireless, which we have expanded into. This increases our total addressable market also in a big way. We are also approved under the PLI scheme of the Government of India, and we are planning to upgrade that to a design-led manufacturing, which will give us much more credit for our R&D investments, as well as higher amount of value addition that we create in the country. In terms of the macro trends, from a demand side, there are 4 macro trends which are driving our business. On one hand, everybody in the world, especially after the pandemic, is wanting to have high-speed broadband connectivity, whether it's home or a business or any kind of a government agency as well. Secondly, we are seeing densification of 4G networks wherever in the world they are, and additional investments in the form of new 5G networks, which is going to trigger a new capex cycle over the next 4 or 5 years. In fact, for example, in India, the 5G auctions are happening, and I'm sure that this will be a large-scale deployment that will happen over the next many years. The third aspect of this is that because of the increased amount of data traffic that is being generated, both by humans as well as by machines and sensors, the capacity of optical networks is going to significantly increase. And this is really where our companies, all the wireline products come into picture. Enterprises around the world are going to benefit significantly from 5G in terms of manufacturing 4.0, automation of transportation sectors, healthcare sectors, and many others. And we do believe that things again will be heading in the right direction from a demand perspective. On the supply side, if I look at the industry dynamics, we are seeing some structural changes in our industry. The first one is the geopolitical dynamics which are evolving, where every country and lots of companies and telecom operators around the world have realized that it is very crucial to have equipment from trusted sources. As a result, they are defocusing their deployments or reducing the deployments from equipment from certain countries and actually focusing on deploying stuff which is from trusted sources. And we as an Indian company are definitely playing into that opportunity. The second aspect which is very important is the softwarization of telecom networks. Many, many years back, hardware was the dominant force, what basically constituted a network. But today, the increased amount of software is where the differentiations happen. India as a country has been very strong in software, and Tejas as a company build our foundation around software-defined hardware. This again plays into our sweet spot in terms of times to come. The third big trend is open and disaggregated network architectures in terms of equipment. What that basically means is that the lock which was there on certain networks in terms of performance or different elements coming from the same company, the customers want that to be disaggregated so that they can buy a certain piece of equipment from company A and another piece of equipment from company B. That again is an opening that new companies and new players who are entering new fields like us have an advantage. And the last thing I want to talk about is the increased solution focus, especially with 5G. Operators and enterprises just don't want a particular box, but they really want an end-to-end solution. So working with our synergies across the Tata ecosystem, for example, we can really build much more competitive solution which include state-of-the-art products as well as IT services and all the applications and analytics that go along with it. So if I look at all of these are favorable macro trends for our business as we attempt to increase our size and become a global scale company. Next slide, please. In terms of our vision and strategy, as our chairman articulated, our vision is to create a global scale telecom product company from India. There are three really fundamental foundations of that. As a product company, we really want to expand our portfolio from wireline to wireless and really become an end-to-end player. And as I show in a slide from now, we really do have very, very large coverage in terms of the product offering that we have. The second aspect is we have to expand our sales. Home market is something which has to be taken advantage of. India is a large country with a large demand. And if you see the experience of other OEMs around the world who have built large scale businesses, the first thing they did was really get a fairly strong position in their home market. And we are confident that with our competitiveness of our portfolio, as well as the positive schemes from the government of India, give us an excellent platform to expand our presence in the home market. Internationally is where we have to become a global player and a player of scale. And again, with all the momentum that we have generated in the past in terms of being strong in certain geographies, we want to invest there and increase our market share. And in addition, enter new geographies using the brand strength of our group, as well as the opportunities that are being created because of the geopolitical factors where equipment from certain vendors is being replaced by more trusted sources. The last part of it, and part of it what we realized in the last year, is that we have to build a very solid manufacturing operations in terms of being able to be resilient to the supply chain challenges that we've seen in the last 24 months. And we are really retooling our processes as well as systems to make sure that we can actually execute very well despite the challenge that we'll face. And that's something which we are doing to really get to the next scale. Next slide, please. Just to give you a picture of all the products that our company does from a pictorial viewpoint, if you see on the left-hand side, we are building 4G and 5G base stations, as it is commonly called. And with the Sankhya acquisition, we also have ability to build receivers on the ground, which can take satellite connectivity. So really, whether it is fiber, 4G, 5G, or satellite, we have all forms of access that go into our telecom network. And then in the middle, you can see all the transport functions and all the products that we've built over the years. And between all of those three things, as you can see, we can actually have the capability to build an end-to-end network, starting from access to the core, using indigenous technology and trusted sources, and really building competitive products which are software-defined hardware as we talk about it. Going to the next slide, in terms of we've been an R&D-driven company. We've invested a lot in R&D, and we wanted to kind of share with you what is the impact of all of that R&D. If we really see in FY17, we had a certain portfolio of products which was primarily transport product in the access and aggregation stage, and we had around a total addressable market, if you remove China from the global picture, of around $7 billion. Each year after that, we have been investing in R&D and expanding our product portfolio. And if you see FY23, where we are today, not only do we have all the wireline products from access to transport to core, but we also have built a 4G base station, and we are now ready for 5G as well. And in addition, we have built switches and routers, which are used for smart city and safe city application. So if you really see today, our addressable market is close to $29 billion, which is a fairly large market size. Given all of this, I just wanted to share one slide in terms of what does this software-defined hardware architecture mean and how our innovation is coming into picture. This product that you're seeing is just an example of a unique innovation that your company has done in the world. where from the same equipment, you can give fiber to the home services on GPON technology. You can perform transport functions as we described in terms of Ethernet and packet transport, as well as you can actually use it as a 4G base station, which can be upgraded to 5G. And this kind of technological innovation where wireline and wireless coming out of the same platform is something very unique. And as you can see from the different awards that we've got around the world, this is the kind of innovation that we can get. The benefit to the customer is like a Swiss Army knife, where the same product can be used for multi-purpose applications and really increase his benefit in terms of total cost of ownership, as well as the new services that he can launch once he has deployed one of the boxes. In addition, I just wanted to share a few other things that we have been doing in the background. We have launched what we call the Tejas Academy. As you are aware, the Indian technology industry is going through a fairly high degree of attrition. And we have come out with a very innovative solutions where for developing the deep technology products that we need in our company, we need really high quality and highly talented manpower, of which we have abundance in our country. We have created a Tejas Academy, which is like a boot camp where very bright engineers are selected. They're put through a very intense program. And after that, they can come and actually become very, very productive, hardcore R&D engineers, which we believe are going to be very good for us and allow us to expand the company. Security is very important. And this year we got ISO 27001 security certification in terms of IT processes and systems. And as our chairman mentioned earlier, our company continues to be recognized by innovation and excellence in everything that we are doing. In terms of our CSR initiatives, last year, a lot of our focus was dedicated around two broad themes. One was education and the other is healthcare. So we did participate, like many other companies in our country, on all possible things that we could do for supporting the COVID crisis. And in terms of education, we actually expanded in two different areas. On one hand, we partnered with a university for very high-tech research in AI and ML related automatic fault diagnostic systems. And on the other hand, for education at the grassroots level in villages. Coming to the last slide of my presentation, if you could please. Looking ahead, I mean, what do we think is the future for our company? First of all, I can say it's very exciting times ahead. As a Tata Group company, we have all the opportunities available. As I said, the macro factors are in our favor, and with the synergies and the brand strength that we have of the group, along with all the foundation that we have built over the years in terms of products and technology, and the focus that we want to think long term. We want to build a business which has sustainable growth, and we want to build a business which is recognized for its innovation as well as deep amount of impact that it's making, not just in India but in the world. And I'm very proud and happy that we are at that juncture today. And I look forward to sharing these exciting times with you in the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. I now request our company secretary to provide a summary of the auditor's report.
The statutory auditors, Mrs. Pricewaterhouse Chartered Accountants LLP, and the secretarial auditors, Mr. C. Dwaraknath, practicing company secretaries, has expressed unqualified opinion in the respective audit reports for the financial year 2021-22. There are no qualification, observations, or adverse comments on the financial statements on matters which have any material bearing on the functioning of the company. The statutory auditor's report on the standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements are available in the annual report. The secretarial audit report is enclosed as Annexure 5 to the board's report of the annual report. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ravi. As the notice is already circulated to all the members, with the consent of the members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. Before we proceed, I am pleased to bring to your notice that, as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company had provided you all the facility to cast your vote electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their vote electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes through the e-voting system provided by NSDL. Members may please note that there will be no voting by show of hands. Further, members can seek clarifications and/or offer comments on items of business, if any. The results on the AGM resolutions shall be declared not later than 2 working days from the conclusion of the AGM of the company. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice. The floor will be open for any questions by members after all the resolutions are tabled. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice. Item number 1 of the notice, adoption of accounts. The financial statements of the company, including the consolidated financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2022, including the reports of the Board of Directors and Auditors, have already been provided to the members. Item number 2 of the notice, reappointment of Mr. Arnab Roy as a director liable to retire by rotation. The proposal is to reappoint Mr. Arnab Roy as a director liable to retire by rotation and being eligible seeks reappointment. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 3 of the notice, reappointment of Messrs. Pricewaterhouse Chartered Accountants LLP as statutory auditors of the company. The proposal is to reappoint Messrs. Pricewaterhouse Chartered Accountants LLP as statutory auditors of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 4 of the notice, increase of the authorized share capital of the company and alteration of the capital clause of the Memorandum of Association of the company. The proposal is to increase of authorized share capital of the company and alteration of the capital clause of the Memorandum of Association of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 5 of the notice, the proposal is to approve the Tejas Restricted Stock Unit Plan 2022, RSU 2022 or the plan, and grant of 50 lakhs restricted stock units under RSU 2022 to eligible employees of the company. This item may be read as approval sought only to eligible employees of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 6 of the notice, the proposal is to approve the appointment of Sri P.R. Ramesh as a non-executive independent director, not liable to retire by rotation of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 7 of the notice, the proposal is to approve the appointment of Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy as a non-executive independent director, not liable to retire by rotation of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 8 of the notice, the proposal is to ratify the remuneration to be paid to the cost auditor for the financial year ended 31st March 2022. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Item number 9 of the notice, the proposal is to approve the grant of restricted stock units under RSU 2022 to eligible employees of the company and its subsidiaries. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members.
Dear shareholders, thank you for joining the 22nd AGM today and for taking time to participate in today's AGM. Before we go live with the question and answer session, here are some points to note for your convenience. Kindly turn on your video when you are projected on the broadcast screen, unmute yourself and proceed to ask the questions. Please mention your name, folio number and the location from where you are joining. Each shareholder will have 2 minutes for the questions. To avoid repetition, the board will respond to all questions at the end. Once you have asked your question, you can log off and continue to watch the proceedings.
The floor is now open for questions.
We now invite Mr. Ramaswamy.
Mr. Ramaswamy.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ramaswamy.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Please go on.
Yeah, welcome to the board, sir. Mr. Sanjay Nayak, good afternoon. How are you? Mr. Ravi, good afternoon.
I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the board, Mr. Chairman and the new director, sir. I am Ramaswamy, speaking from Delhi, sir. So our company is, top 3 R&D spenders as per the ICSA study submitted. Congratulations on that note. Again, sir, I have got few observations which the chairman can kindly respond, sir. Cyber security. Chairman, we have read in the annual report, page number 49. Mr. Sanjay Nayak as well as Mr. NGS have given a fair idea about that, sir. If anything more can be shared as an opportunity to the company on cyber security aspect as well as the threat to the country as a whole out of the cyber security will be helpful, sir. Market share and our competitors. See, we are one of the top 10 global supplier of optical aggregation products. Page number 22 of the annual report. Sir, who are our competitors and what is the market share of our company vis-a-vis our competitors? Again, sir, on the BSNL 4G tender, we have read a very detailed interview by the chairman, sir, on the suspects, sir, in the Economic Times latest. So, what is the business opportunity for our company in the next 2-3 years, and how will when the monetization of this will start, sir? Sir, last but not the least, when will our company become regular and sustainable income earning company, and when we can expect dividend from the company, sir? That's all from my side, sir. Thanks a lot and all the best, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ramaswamy. Can we move on to the next Dr. Bopanna?
We now invite Mr. Arun Bupanda, please.
Dr. Bopanna?
Yes, sir. Can you see me, sir? Can you
Good
hear?
afternoon, sir. Yes, we are able to see you and hear you very well, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Nice seeing you after a long time. Good afternoon to everybody. Tejas happened not in the west but east, not in Bay Area but in Bangalore, not flush with money but as a startup. Merging with Tata's is a significant move, sir. I'm very proud of it. Welcome, Sanjay Nayak, to Tata's. Compliments for being a technology innovator in telecom sector with 350 patent applications, 137 global patent grants, and a rich portfolio of 300 plus semiconductor IPs. Acquisition of Sankhya Labs Private Limited, a strong player in broadcast domain, as a consortium partner along with TCS and CDOT. What differentiates Tejas products from competitors? Volume-wise, price, opportunity, availability. As part of this initiative, we have already launched and demonstrated an end-to-end indigenous 4G LTE network for leading telecom service provider in the country, and we will soon be ready for deploying the equipment of 5G as well. From being a startup to India's first publicly listed deep technology telecom product, entered the wireless product segment in addition to wireline segment, which has been our strength thus far. My question, sir, what are the challenges with the raw materials keeping the Russia-Ukraine war to? How did we de-risk the sourcing? Was it backward integration or anything else? What has been the impact on our PLN account due to the Russia-Ukraine war? Revenues from products launched in the last 2 years. So population growth, more people entering the consumption cycle will add to the economic boost for Tejas. What is happening on ESG metrics and front to protect the planet and do good for people? What differentiates our products from competitors? Volume, price, opportunity. HR policy, a new initiative to create next-gen leaders with balanced lifestyle. What is a breakup in gender diversity? So preference to make in India and production-linked incentives provides the right environment for design and development of indigenous technology and use of domestically manufactured telecom products. What are our goals in renewable energy? Will climate solutions be future of global economy? What is expected size of the industry in 5 to 7 years? T, transformation as a group. E, emerged businesses. What is structured and what is nurtured? What are the innovations will be there? Will there be disruption by new players or new business models? Lastly, sir, Tejas came in silently in India with so many impossible rules. Tejas' next phase of growth should be exciting and rewarding. In conclusion, Tejas should add to India's wealth through innovation, with purpose taking precedence over profitability. Tejas, with Tata's spark of national spirit, should make India self-reliant and lead the world. Tata's propelled into the rank of industrialized nations through foray into core business, and Tata's always did what was good for the country. So I wish Tejas all the best under your chairmanship, Chairman sir. Thank you very much and namaste. All the best to you.
Thank you, Dr. Bopanna.
We now request Mr. Naveen Botra.
Mr. Botra? Mr. Naveen Botra?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's it.
Good afternoon, sir. We are able to see you and hear you. Please go
Yes,
on.
yes. Very warm wishes and greetings to our chairman, NGS sir. We welcome him on our company's board as chairman. We are very pleased with his induction as chairman, which provide us the all the guidance and leadership in the to become a world-class telecom company out of India. Also, very warm wishes and greetings to our MD Sanjay Naik sir and distinguished board members Lakshmi sir and management team of Tejas. It's also welcome the new directors on the board. Naveen Bothra is speaking from Delhi. Congratulations on the various awards and recognitions received during the year, as also the ET Telecom CEO award. Congratulations to Sanjay sir. Sir, I have the following points for your broader view because in the investor presentations and the con call, a lot of details in covered in detail and all these things. So I would like to have Chairman Sir's broader view about our Tejas 3 under Tata. What is our medium-term management plan to become a world-class top-tier global telecom equipment company from India? So how we are going to achieve this with the huge resources of Tata Group and the synergy at play with our various companies of TCS and Tata Communication Assets. So would like to have your views how we are going to achieve our aspiration to be a world-class telecom top tier company from India. Secondly, NM SaaS, a subscription-based cloud service which makes it easy for service providers to manage their network elements. So what is the share of revenues we are expecting from this SaaS-based service, NM SaaS? And further, as we are a telecom equipment company, how do we see services how do we see ourselves in the services space through the SaaS-based space in the long run? As regards the broader view about the Sankhya acquisitions, it is well covered. First of all, congratulations for this acquisition, sir. In this regard, I would like to have your views on its the unique proposition of direct to mobile D2M broadcast and broadband convergence, in which Sankhya has developed and demonstrated successfully to Sinclair UCA. I think in the Q3 or 4 we will be supplying the fabulous chip. Supplies will start. So in the policy environment of India, recently there was a conference also. How do you see the policy environment in Indian broadcasting space evolving, and the size and the scope of this usually once of its kind innovation from Sankhya? So would like to have your views, sir, about this D2M possibility, and will it be possible? We will be coming to the B2C space also through this proposition D2M. And third is regarding the 5G private network opportunity. Government has permitted 5G private networks by enterprises. So what will be Tejas' role and scalability potential we see as a telecom equipment company? Because private networks as a separate business opportunity, is it going to increase our share of revenues? Because otherwise we would have gone through the telecom service providers. So allowing the private network, how we are going to benefit from this, would like to have your views. And similarly regarding, are we also planning to set up an 5G private network at Tejas? Would like to conclude. Wish the management team all the very best in the times ahead. And I have already voted in favor of all the resolutions and propose a vote of thanks to the board, sir. Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
We now request Mr. Dinesh Kotecha.
Yes. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Mr.
Yes,
Kotej.
start my video also. Please start my video. I have started from here, from my side. Please start my video, moderator. Good afternoon to all of you, sir. Namaste. First of all, I am very happy to meet you in the virtual meeting as a small shareholder. Sir, I like the tagline of the company. And Mr. Ganpati Subramanian ji, with you taking over as the chairman, automatically I'm saying, and the Tata's name added to us, we being part of the Tata group, we are going to be seen as a positive growth company in future. I'm not going to discuss any operational income right now because we are in a transition phase. We are in an integration phase. In the transition phase, being a Tata group company, everything has to gel. And integration, because we have acquired that Sankhya Labs, and that integration has to also be done. So we are in that phase now. Because we are in that phase, I would not like to discuss any operational questions. I will not ask you anything. I'm going to ask you some specific questions, like your balance sheet annual report theme says charting new frontiers with. Because now, as part of the Tata group, and somewhere in the balance sheet you have written, we have got material related transactions with Tata Communication and TCS. Now, in that way, I mean, in future, I mean, are you having a broad plan, maybe as a strategy, to get any of the Tata companies merged, or our company merged with any of the Tata companies later on, maybe a 5-year plan, etc.? Sir, by what period can be the company establish itself as a scale player of global reach? By what period you think? Secondly, sir, now we are at 549 crores. Now, when our net worth was 1811 crores, 46%, 837 was put in by the Tata groups via equity shares and warrants A and B. I would like to know, I was just doing some rough calculation. This year we'll be able to reach, with the resources that we have got, the capital employed and the sales ratio, which I found out, I mean, we can reach nearly 800 plus crores. And then next year onwards, we can reach 1200 crores, and the next year it will be 2000 crores. A big jump will come in 2026, 25, 26. Now, that is my understanding. Sir, R&D, now how do you measure R&D basically? A lot of hard work has been done by the earlier promoters. Mr. Sanjay Nayak and his earlier team has done a lot of hard work. And we have done all the, what you can say, the due diligence to acquire this company. Tata has done all the due diligence in all respects. Risk analysis has been done. Valuation has been done. Now, in that respect, I would like to know, how do you measure R&D? And what is the product research productivity that we get from the R&D? And rate of internal return. Do we measure a rate of internal return in the R&D? That is what I would like to know. Sir, our Indian business comprises 64% and international business comprises 36%. Now, will that ratio change over a period of time? And by what period of time it will change to 50-50, let us say first, and then 75 overseas and 25 Indian? I mean, what type of that type of strategical change is happening? Sir, I would like you to give me a list of top 10 public shareholders, sir, non-promoter, non-institution, because that gives me confidence. I'm a small public. My quotation is from the public shareholding. I'm from the public shareholder. So I would like to have a list of top 10 public shareholders to be published in the balance sheet also. That will give confidence to the public at large, minority public at large, that who are the top 10, and we, if we know any of them, we get the confidence that they must also have done the due diligence. They invested a lot of money in that, and we, investing 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 shares. I mean, it's a small quantity that we are holding, but that gives us additional confidence, sir. So please see to it, sir. Sir, I would like also to know, page 155, there are some disputed cases mentioned by the auditor. Several of them are there. Now, actually, sir, page 155, if I refer to it, it shows me. Sir, just give me 1 second. 1 second. I was opening that page. Yeah. Sir, we have got 4 to 5 cases there. I mean, I would like your commentary on the position, sir, because they are very negligible amount. We are not clustered with a lot of litigation cases. That is very good. I congratulate the earlier management for that, sir. Mr. Sanjay Nayak, I really congratulate you for that. There are not several cases, because in several balance sheets, I find 2-3 pages full of litigation, disputed cases, and going on, and legal charges and all that is incurred. But we are very happy that very few, 4 or 5 are there. But I would like to know what is the latest position on the disputed cases, sir. Sir, apart from that, I mean, it is too early to comment on anything on the working of the company because we are in a takeoff stage. We are integrating, we are merging, we are transitioning, a transitional stage. So I will not burden you with more questions, sir. But definitely next year, based on your results, I may ask you some operational questions. And the first quarter results also shows the loss, a little bit loss. We have reduced the losses, and I hope that again turns around very fast and becomes a profitable quarter. Third quarter should onward we should start making profits. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best. Namaskar, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We now request Elizabeth.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. We are able to hear you. Please go ahead.
And I think you can see me also.
Yes, ma'am. We are able to see you. We are able to hear you. Please go ahead.
Good. So I go with my formal thing. Respected Chairman, Mr. N. Ganpati Subramaniam, MD and CEO Sanjay Naik, other members of the board, my fellow shareholders attending the virtual meet. I am Mrs. C.E. Mascarenas. I am attending from Mumbai. First of all, I take the privilege of thanking our company secretary, Mr. N.R. Ravi Krishnan, and his team for sending me e-annual report. I would have been happy if I would get a physical copy because this balance sheet is quite difficult reading also. And registering me at my request and for giving me the platform to speak. Thank you very much. The annual report, e-annual report is very exhaustive and self-explanatory and adhering to all the norms of corporate governance. As I think this is 1 or 2 years only, Tata Pentone has taken this sort of, I can say, a startup. It will take time to come on dividend list, so I don't ask you for that. But what I want, because there is a big brand name of Tatas, I want a very good market cap in this, so that there are like Hathway, Berkshire Hathway. It has never given dividend, but the market capitalization is over the roof year after year. I know when I was small, it was $1, and today I don't know how many dollars. So I look out, at least for the time being, it should give us more market cap. Now what you say, congratulations for whatever awards and also good CSR work as given in the annual report. And also, I think we have done a lot on the ESG. I would like to know whether we have gone for ESG rating, and if so, who is the rating agency and our rating rate. Now I come to my queries. Our customers are telecom service providers, internet service providers, critical infrastructure, and government in public sector units, rural broadband. Do we supply also equipments to VSAT, like we have in Nelco, VSAT? And where our margin, whether our margins are good, and where is the future? Where do you find the brightness? What is the target to expand in international presence, offering moderate and efficient and innovative telecom network equipment? As I heard the earlier shareholder saying 35 and 65, domestic is 65. So how do we increase that? I would like to know our past chairman, Mr. Balakrishnan and Dr. G. Deshpande, who brought up this great company and their team, has built a strong platform for the future. Are they with us, like, say, as a consultant and giving support? Where are they, like, Then I come to the next one. Our order book at the end of the year was 1,175 crores, out of which 70% is expected to realize. So I would like to know how much order worth we have received in the last quarter, how many clients are added, and how many are repeat orders? Our business is from international sales and sales on generated from 4 regions: Africa, Middle East, South and Southeast, Southeast, and Europe and Americas. Which among these four more potential, where is our margin and good vis-a-vis the capital employed? My one other question is, now as we are going on 5G, will this 5G increase our business equipments? Could you just share that thoughts? So after acquiring this Sankey Labs acquisition, any more acquisitions to further the growth in inorganic way? Rest maybe I will be able to speak better in the next year. At now I feel that we should become more prominent, and our brand like Tata should go in the air like anything. So definitely we'll be having a good market capitalization. I support all the resolutions. I know where there is Tata. I have got full faith in Tatas because they can change, and with the present way, like Air India's will be going in a big way. I am sure about this telecom equipment. We will be doing great job with Tata Communications, Tata Tele, Nelco. So there are so many will be interconnected, and I see this as Tata, another Tata which is going on such a high price. What is that Tata's? Tata Elxsi. I feel this will be another Tata Elxsi, sir, under your guidance and your leadership. It will not leave any stone untouched, but we had to wait for a very, very long time to see what was Tata Elxsi, So I feel this because now this is the age of the telecom. Without the internet, we can't do anything, We are not, traveling has become less, but we see and everything that is become more, everything is going digital, and which we are not, at least I am not able to cope that way, With this, I wish you all the best, especially good health, and may our company grow, higher to higher grade. And I feel we need to change the name also. Let the board, let them take the decision, With this, thank you very much, and may God bless our company, lips and bounds. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mrs. Musgar. Yes. Thank you very much.
We now request Mr. Ravi Kumar.
Mr. Ravi Kumar. Mr. Ravi Kumar, are you there? Okay, so can we go to the next one, next registered speaker?
We now request Mr. Saket.
Mr. Saket. Mr. Saket, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Saket.
Namaskar, sir, and thank you for this opportunity, sir. Firstly, sir, as investors, we look at the cash flow part of the story, where the cash flow is coming from. So, with quarterly numbers also at which were posted earlier at 125 crores, and also looking at some losses were posted for the quarter. So we'd like to understand when will the company start accruing cash on a continuous basis? Means cash profit, sir, and also, sir, how should we investors would be able to value this kind of enterprise? If you could give us some understanding, because if you look at other metrics like profitability, revenue generation, those are not aligning with the market cap the company is commanding. So whether it is the IP part or the futuristic outlook, what is giving us this kind of valuation, sir? I failed to understand, or in fact, this is the lack of my knowledge, sir. Also on the order executable part, sir. When I think so, we mentioned about some figure 900 crores of order book. Correct me there also. So, what is the executable period for the same, and what are the margins? We spoke about semiconductor having the problem with semiconductor availability being a reason for lower profits for this quarter, and also the cost increase has not been passed on. So, if you could dwell, when will this even out? The moot point was for investor community, when will this company be posting cash profits? And this kind of $1 billion market cap on, I think so, last year the sales number are not in front of me. How one should justify being going for an investment in these kind of companies, sir? I'm a new shareholder to it. If you could give me some understanding, since it's a Tata brand, sir, that takes away a lot of credential into it, and therefore it definitely deserves a merit. So please let us know. And also, sir, are we looking for any acquiring more IP or asset? I think so. One of the companies in your vicinity, I think the Sterlite Technology has put some of their optic fiber cables and other networking equipment part on block. I think so. They would like to raise some $2 billion on it. So are we in the race to acquire on that front? If you could throw some light on the same. These are my very small points, sir. And I hope to, I think so better you are doing con calls and things like that, but cash flow is the one which is confusing me a lot, sir. And I hope to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saket. With this, we have come to the conclusion of all the questions that were posed, and we have covered all the registered speakers. So let me try and address some of the questions that have been posed, answers to it, and wherever Sanjay, you can amplify it, I'll let you amplify it. Mr. Ramaswamy Vasudev, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your questions. I think cyber security is you asked about cyber security. I think it's a most important thing, and it's in the agenda of every company and every board. And in Tejas also, we have taken cognizance of it, and then taken steps to protect our own operations, our own network from any cyber attacks. That's the first one, to initially safeguard ourselves. Then the second is that, look, any equipment that we deliver or any code that we embed in our equipments, we are making sure that we take adequate precautions, adequate steps, that the code that we embed into our equipments do not have any vulnerabilities or any unnecessary code which could be exploited by people from outside. So in that sense, that we are ensuring that our equipments are solid, robust, and secured, and so that it deserves a trusted tag, right? Then you have asked about our competitors. I think our competitors are, wide spectrum of competitors are there, given that, we have focused traditionally on wireline business, wireline products, which includes FTTX, which is really fiber to anything, is one biggest thing, and then the transport part of it. And then now we have launched the wireless product segment. So the competitors, in addition to all of that, we have the routers, switches, etc., which I think, the product portfolio is something that our CEO Sanjay explained in his presentation. Given that wide range of product portfolio that we have in the networking space, which could address both the enterprises as well as telecom providers, internet service providers, the competitors are also fairly wide, from small players to your regional players, to your domestic players, to your global players. So we are tracking all of them, and our goal is to make sure that we produce a product with adequate differentiation and ensure that we remain competitive in the marketplace, and as much as possible provide an end-to-end solution stack. That will be our biggest advantage. And then you also asked about the BSNL tender, the business opportunity. I think I have addressed it in my opening remarks and speech. But overall, I think the BSNL is a opportunity, is a very live and a good opportunity. It's a scale opportunity because you don't get to roll out a network of that size, right? Like in a pan-India basis, anywhere in the world. Right? From that perspective, it's a very, very strategic lifetime opportunity, I should say. It went through a proof of concept phase, as you all know, and a lot of things have been in the media about the programs. All we can say at this point in time is that we have successfully completed the proof of concept, meeting majority of the requirements of BSNL as provided for, and we are very happy that we have concluded the POC, and we are now in discussions with BSNL and about the planning and deployment at scale on a commercial basis, and that gives us a very solid footing to go after such opportunities in India as well as outside of India. Okay, so it's a huge opportunity, and given that, I think many of you have also expressed that everything is digital, everything is about telecom and networking, and someone remarked, I think telecom is also becoming a horizontal for many businesses. So in that context, the overall telecom network is one thing, the enterprise network is the private network is the other thing, and we have the uniquely opportunity to keep building products or stitch together an overall solution from our products and third-party products, so that we provide an end-to-end solution for both telcos as well as internet service providers and enterprises at large. Dr. Bopanna, I think you have raised a lot of valid points, and thank you for all your inputs and suggestions. I think our differentiation, I think you asked about Tejas' differentiation. I think Tejas has supplied more than 700,000 equipments which are in operation in over 75 countries so far. The number of rejections that come from the field to the company back is one of the lowest, right? So the robustness, and it just works, right? When you go put it, even in some of the Indian telcos and Indian enterprises, our equipments are solid, robust, and it works. So I think, the biggest differentiator is that, very reliable, robust product. And I think, Sanjay also in his presentation talked about an equipment which has pretty much like a Swiss Army knife, has the capability to do many things. So with the result that, look, you deploy this, you could actually launch multiple products using the same equipment, rather than, if you want to, let's say, launch a corporate offering, you go for a different equipment. For a retail offering, you go for a different equipment, and so on and so on. That there is no need for it. It's a very well integrated, rounded architecture, which is secured, robust and trusted. So I think, that's the key differentiator. The price, volume, all of it is a function of the opportunity on hand. And overall, I think, the price performance that Tejas is offering to our clients, and the feedback that we are getting from our clients is quite encouraging. The challenges that we have in raw materials, I think, is well known, and our business is impacted primarily because of the raw material availability, especially the chip shortages, which consequently had a major impact in our ability to manufacture and in our ability to deliver to the contractual contracts that we have secured. So in that context, I think you also talked about backward integration. We are looking at, we are a manufacturing company and design and manufacturing company. We design the products. We have a manufacturing facility which typically puts together the overall assembly of the end product, integration, testing, and certification. All of that happens within Tejas. But in between, we do work with outsourced manufacturing or EMS companies to provide the sub-assemblies and components that we need. And that particular thing, we used to have 1 or 2 people. Now, given the growth that we are seeing, we've also qualified multiple EMS companies with whom we could work. And the Ukraine war situation is something that we are not. It indirectly has an effect in terms of component shortages and all the other implications. But overall, the demand environment that we see from Europe or from rest of the world continues to be encouraging, and so on, so that we recently won an opportunity in Italy where the company is planning to set up an office and then proceed further with that. On the ESG, I think you asked about ESG. The company has done some great amount of thinking and also some actions in terms of adopting global best practices in the ESG areas. We have initiated tracking of our own carbon footprint and taken steps to reduce that carbon footprint in many ways. Whether it is related to electricity consumption, backup diesel generator that we consume, or water we consume, and real estate optimization, and many such things. And we are complying to the international standards, ISO 14001, and also meets some of the other directives like waste of electrical and electronic equipments, WEEE, and restriction on the use of hazardous substances to contribute to the circular economy. So we are making all these steps in the right direction. Much needs to be done, and I think as we move forward with our business, and I think providing a green compatible equipment and the equipments that we supply to the field need to be circular, need to be regenerative, as well as making sure that we conform to some of the strict emission standards and so on and so on. And then gender diversity, you asked about it. I think given that a lot of our work is in the R&D side of things, we are very pleased that we have about 16% of our workforce is women, and I think that's increasing every quarter. I think the innovation question is, we in this particular area, innovation is the key. There is a lot of innovation at play, and as a company, we are extremely focused on all the standards that we need to comply with. For example, 3GPP standards, which we need to adhere to. We are complying with it, and we are in a catch-up mode in some sense. And I think, as a company, we will finish the catching up by middle of next year with respect to all the features that we need to supply with respect to the latest release of the standards. For example, release 17 is already out by 3GPP, and we need to be complying to release 17 standards pretty quickly. And then we will concentrate on contributing to the standards evolution and also innovate in this field, both for the private network space as well as the telcos networking space. Mr. Naveen Bothra, I think you asked again, a lot of questions, and thank you for your support and best wishes. Tejas, our medium-term focus is to really consolidate our business and position ourselves very well in the wireless space in terms of a very solid 4G and 5G equipment market, right? So that is going to be very crucial, even for the India as well as some of the emerging and established markets as well. While we're doing so, we should protect our wireline business, which is growing healthily, and we don't want that to be defocused at all. So as a management team, we have taken the right steps. They have taken the right steps in terms of ensuring that the wireline business continues to be robust, continues to operate well and grow well, while we invest in the R&D for the 5G business and the wireless business and come up with products which are competitive in the domestically as well as internationally. How are we going to achieve this is another question. I think you have taken the right steps, and one of the acquisitions that we did in terms of Sankhya adds to this significant capability. And the important thing is to focus on the product deliveries that we have planned. We have planned, and we are in an investment mode in the wireless business at this point in time. and we are securing the talent that is required, the investment funding that is required, and ensure that we do not delay product development and come up with products which are competitive in the marketplace, and essentially getting the architecture right so that they are field upgradable through software as opposed to hardware. And subscription based thing, I think it's a something that we need to look at, but we are predominantly focusing on supplying equipments at this point in time, while network management and network as a service is certainly a viable proposition, certainly something that people are talking about it. We will closely watch this space, and we will take your inputs into consideration as we define our strategies for the future. We are at best a telecom product company. We are not looking at services in a big way. Services is something that we want to leave it to system integrators at large. But having said that, we will provide the basic equipment. If called for, we are capable of working with our partners to install and commission, as well as provide field support, training, and all the other aspects, including annual maintenance and upgrade of our products and services. The Sankhya acquisition and the direct to market thing, that direct to mobile thing that you talked about, broadcast broadband convergence, is an emerging area. There are multiple standards that are available. There is a lot of discussion that is happening towards merging broadcast standards with broadband standards. Work is on the anvil. It is going to take at least another 2 to 3 years before we could see convergence of standards in this area. But having said that, with the capabilities that we have got from Sankhya, who are specialized in broadcast area, our management team is putting things together as a part of the integration of the Sankhya with Tejas to come up with offerings which can be tailor-made to broadcasting companies as well as cable operators, along with the telcos, so that the overall broadband and broadcast convergence is something that we want to be ahead of the game. 5G private networks, I think, is a good opportunity that is emerging. So there are 3 opportunities in the overall 5G space, right? One is the network equipments that we'll deliver to establish and commission a network for the telcos or the internet service providers. So that is one space. The second is the private network space that enterprises will choose to deploy in their own band, so that their own operations can be optimized and they are able to truly leverage the industry 4.0 capabilities and digital technologies. The third one is the vertical apps that may be required to run on top of both the telcos and the enterprise networks, be it for agriculture, be it for healthcare, manufacturing, and so on, so on. In all the 3 dimensions, the equipment space side of it, right? Whatever the equipments that are required for the telcos and the private enterprises is something that we would like to support. We would like to offer either ourselves or through alliances and partnerships through our partners. So the intent is to give an end-to-end networking equipment in terms of for both the telcos and the enterprises. And as we deliver those equipments and software, we would like to conform to those standards and open up with the APIs and other services that are required, so that the vertical applications can quietly and nicely develop on top of these networks, especially with machine-to-machine connectivity using IoT and sensors, which drives the overall performance of the enterprises across. Tejas itself may be considering a private network, but we don't have plans at this point in time. It is as we mature our engineering operations, as we mature our manufacturing setups, if there is a need to establish a private network in our own manufacturing facilities, I think that will be something that the management team will take into cognizance and then see how we want to proceed with it. So the next one, set of questions came from Mr. Dinesh Kotecha. I think, thank you, Mr. Kotecha, for all your inputs and suggestions. So I think, you talked about related party transactions and then whether there are any plans to merge any of the group companies that we have. No such plans that we are aware of, number one. If you really look at Tata Communications, is again one of our customers. They use our equipments, and so is TCS. With respect to using some of the equipments on one side, as well as working with Tejas as a partner in taking Tejas's products as a SI. TCS is doing some of this work, so it is in that context they are listed, and there are no such merger plans of this. In other words, as I mentioned in my speech, the group's telecom efforts, especially in terms of telecom equipment manufacturing, design, R&D, centerpiece will be Tejas, is what is the overall thinking. What period we will become a global player of scale? It's very difficult to say, but with the strategy that we have put in place, which was articulated by Mr. Sanjay Nayak, our CEO, we want to be a very solid home market player, right? That is the first step. At the same time, continue to leverage our presence and our customers we have in international markets to see whether we can give them some of the new equipments that we are coming up with for the 4G transport and 5G space, which is again, we have done some initial test marketing, and there are some good feelers that we are getting from our own existing customers, which is again a good thing. In terms of growth, I think you painted a picture of 800 crores, 1200 crores, and moving up to 2025-26. We are in a growth trajectory, and I think the opportunity is there. We are only limited by the supply chain issues and the component availability. And as soon as the components are available, and we have taken some forward calls and we have placed some orders to all these component suppliers, and the lead times are anywhere between 45 to 55 weeks. And so hopefully, in the coming quarter, we will get some of those equipments. We will start to deliver the contracts that we have signed up in the past quarters, which will in turn should give us the revenues. And how do we measure the R&D? I think is a very important question. And rate of return, internal return on the investment that we are making. So there are multiple ways, but typically, the patents will tell you how good our R&D has been. Second is that customer satisfaction in terms of our equipments meeting the market needs ahead of time, and our customers are able to launch products quickly on that. And essentially, how are we staying relevant with respect to our equipments to our customers? These are some of the measures. And there is a good proportion of international and domestic, and it's very hard to say which is good or which is bad. But as we said that, look, initially we will have a more domestic share of the market, consolidate ourselves, and then, take that, leverage that experience and leverage that reference to go after the international market. So I think overall, in the short term, maybe the domestic business will grow more than the international business, but eventually, I think it should come and make sure that the international business grows better than the domestic business over the next 3 years or 4 years. But the intent is to really, not to defocus international business. The intent is to continue to drive our presence and growth in the international arena, so that our brand, our opportunities which we want to participate, we are able to participate. You also asked about the public shareholders, top 10 shareholders listing. They are listed in the annual report, page number 131. And if you further have any questions, further details are required, I would request you to get in touch with our company secretary. Disputed cases mentioned by auditors, as you rightly observed, they are negligible amounts. And I think, we are having a management team and the focus to disciplined execution and contracting in a disciplined manner. All that has led to this, and we will continue to be operating that manner. Thank you very much. And then, Madam Askaran S, I think, thank you again. It was, and appreciate all your best wishes and blessings. Yes, we will focus on being a good company, manufacturing very good products, as I mentioned, and and also grow our company with decent revenue and profitability growth. That is the overall intent, and that should result in the market seeing us in the right manner overall. And do we supply to VSAT? Do we supply to the broadcasting companies? Yes, we are. Sankhya has this broadcasting offering. Now at this particular stage, we are consolidating all our product portfolios, synergizing the effort that is needed into development of the overall code base. Can we have a single code base between the Tejas equipments and the Sankhya equipments? All of that is being sorted out, and we are very pleased with the integration progress that we have made between Tejas and Sankhya. And the overall product portfolio is complementary. The code base is, the architecture is a lot of commonality. We have similar or the same supplier ecosystem. So there are many synergies that I think we will have. Both, I think, Sri Balakrishnan and Sri Deshpande, we don't have a specific arrangement with them, but both are well-wishers of the company, and I'm sure that we can reach out to them and for any help that we need, and they will be more than happy to support and provide their assistance or advice as it is required. And I think we have the total order book is 1,176 crores, right? So totally 1,176 crores was the order book that we had, and 70% of that is what we hope to deliver and recognize as revenue during the financial year 23, subject and limited only to the component availability. But we have also modified our supply chain and the ecosystems that on which we are operating, so that we have greater visibility on our subcontractors' ability to procure those components and supplies. We have fully integrated the systems now, so all that should augur well for us to deliver and a good execution of this backlog that we have. 5G, will it increase the potential? Absolutely, yes, it will increase the potential, and there are most countries, they are in the space of 4G and 5G, and 4G is also expected to stay in parallel with 5G for at least the next 4 or 5 years. It is expected to coexist, and our products are well positioned in the marketplace for that. Sankhya is the acquisition that we have integrated, and there are nothing that I can comment on with respect to any future acquisitions. But overall, we are consciously looking at increasing our capability, and for the right opportunity, right intellectual property that is on the table, we are not averse to looking at any new acquisitions. Right? And then Mr. Saket Kapoor, I think you have asked some questions with respect to cash profits and order book, etc. I think I have already answered. As far as the cash profits are concerned, I think the company has been doing well in the past, and then the last about 18 months or so, we are affected by the component supply chain, and which essentially meant that we didn't want to stop investing, and we didn't want to. Ours in a technology business, so we just have to continue to invest in the R&D. Some we capitalize, some we expense it out based on our policies. And I think the order book is there, the components are getting delivered, and as we deliver these equipments to the customers and then install and commission it, we'll be able to bill and recognize as well as collect these the cash. Right? Overall, that should improve our own performance with respect to cash profits. I think with respect to any new assets or acquisitions, I have already answered. So overall, I think with this, I think I have answered all the questions from all the shareholders. If there are anything that I have missed out, please feel free to reach out to the company secretary, and we will provide more recent answers. So with this, I want to thank you all once again, and we are always happy to see all the shareholders coming and joining and spending your valuable time with us. And and giving your inputs, your insights, the questions that you ask triggers us some fresh thinking. The outside in view is something that which is very valuable. So we are grateful to all our shareholders from who has joined us today. So let me now come to the last item on the agenda. The Board of Directors have appointed Dwarakanath C, Company Secretary in practice, as the scrutinizer for the e-voting process. I hope all of you have taken part in the polling. Further, I hereby authorize Mr. Ravi Krishnan, Company Secretary, to declare the results of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of the requisite number of votes. Further, the combined results of remote e-voting and electronic voting during the AGM, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be communicated to the stock exchanges. The results will also be placed on the websites of the company and NSDL. All the items of today's annual general meeting have now been transacted. Thank you for attending the meeting. With this, I declare the 22nd annual general meeting as closed. Thank you all very much.